I think someone did do a compilation of all of Megatron's yeses or nos.
It's not a I think, it's you know.
I know.
You've shared it to me. That was like one of the
Oh.
first things you ever sent to me.
Yes. No.
Oh no, Panda.
I think my favorite part of that video was when they... Well, I mean, one episode where I think they were scrounging around their base and Megatron happened to come across a, like, squeaky toy. And he was just like, yes, squeak. And then he squishes the squeaky toy. I don't even know where they acquired that.
Escape. Okay. Whee! That is real satisfying. I should see if I can get the maximum spin art on Thunder. Unfortunately, I don't even know. I don't even know how many CP I have, let alone how many I'm going to be able to even get at this point in the game. Come, bomb bot, blow me up along with these rocks. I'm good for it.
I never
It's
saw
going
Reboot.
for. Oh no, the bugs are pushing it around. Dang it! You never saw what? Reboot?
I never saw Reboot.
It wasn't. It was okay.
I think Reboot came out before Beast Wars, but it was made by the same company.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me in the slightest.
Supposedly there's a new reboot that
Yeah.
they may have put on Amazon or
Yeah,
Netflix.
it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
I've seen it exists.
Okay.
I know nothing about it apart from confirming that it exists. And I looked at it and I was like, huh, okay.
I find it amusing that everyone's trying to make live action versions of animated television shows and films.
I mean, it's good money.
Because there's always been rumors about a live action Gargoyles and a number of other like Disney animated series that they had in the past. Yeah, Gargoyles was Disney.
Yeah. I don't know if I necessarily... I think my problem in general is it's still hard for me to have too much trust? I don't know if trust is exactly the right word I'd like to use in this situation, but...
I've been seeing a lot of the low production, what was it? The live action Teen Titans and the live action Runaways? Is it for Marvel? And I don't know. I don't really think I'm interested in those series. I just don't know if the acting and the production value...
My problem is with
good.
TV shows, they're very rarely, if ever, made with the expectation of having an end. So...
Supposedly they're stopping Daredevil
Yeah.
and Iron Fist and all those other side
Yeah, so...
ones that they've
Well,
created.
I think they canceled Iron Fist.
Oh yeah, a while ago.
Yeah, a while ago. Daredevil was, I think, the holdout. Maybe there's Jessica Jones
Jessica Jones is staying.
and Punisher, and I wouldn't be surprised if those aren't staying just because they filmed a bunch already. I'll admit...
Punisher, it's interesting. Punisher has some of probably the most obscure films made by, not quite made by Marvel though. Like they haven't made an official one for the Marvel cinematographic, what would you call it? Cinematic universe?
Yeah.
For years, because I think there was a Punisher movie in the 80s and then there was another one in the 90s or something, right? Like
Yeah.
there have been several Punisher movies and live action attempts at creating a foothold for the franchise, but it never really took off. But it looks like they're trying it again.
I mean... Yeah. Character never really appealed to me too much.
Well, for me, it was just because he was a mercenary with a car and big weapons.
Yeah, I guess I've just always
What
felt
was his superpower?
he doesn't have one.
Oh,
Classic anti-hero with guns.
okay. Yeah, because I was watching the Blade movies recently. I would have to say that of all the animated series that I'd ever watched, the ones that had the most tie-in characters for Marvel was the Spider-Man one from the, was it the late 90s, early 2000s?
Yeah. Apparently in that one, I don't know if you... I think this is the case. It was either that one or it was the series preceding it. They were not allowed to show him punching anybody, so everything is like a shoulder check.
I'll have to go check the footage of that again. Yeah.
Like 90% certain it's 90s Spider-Man never throws a punch because he's always just shoulder checking everyone.
You know, what was interesting about that series is they had all of these Marvel superheroes that they're now making these live-action spin-offs for. I believe it. I think they even had an episode for Moon Knight.
Huh.
And Silver Sable. I know that they're including her in a number of things now. That's how I remember her presence in the Marvel universe through that. And some of the comics, but I think my father never had any comics that she guest starred in. It seemed like there were some characters that never really had a comic series of their own, but would be a side character in everyone else's.
Well, a lot of them were like characters that, you know, might have actually done well during certain periods of...
For a while, Doctor Strange actually was the, like, sort of the wise man character that would bop up in one series or another to remedy things. Or the main hero would be, oh no, I'm facing something that's arcane and magical in nature. And then Doctor Strange would come up and go, I have an answer for that.
I think the problem is, like, Doctor Strange never had a good rogues gallery.
Mm-hmm.
And everything was, like, a little bit too cerebral. Kind of like, I mean, easy example would be the Fantastic Four. Like, the Fantastic Four never really had... Oh, damn it, did I hit the bugs?
Oh, no.
This...
I think the problem with any series where it's a group is you have to have a lot of really good chemistry, and each person needs to fulfill a necessary role. It's hard to manage a ensemble cast.
Well, part of it is also, though, like, Fantastic Four, one, were kind of goofy to begin with. You know, apart from Doctor Doom, which admittedly kind of still a real stupid, like, villain name, identity to, like, lash yourselves onto. There never was, like, really a whole lot of, like... It was too floaty. It was too, like... It was too Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nope. And...
Admittedly,
like,
I never read Fantastic Four.
a lot of it just was, like, some weird thing is happening, and it's very much, like, extremely high sci-fi or fantasy, which, like... There's absolutely a market for that sort of thing.
Is it because Mr. or Dr. Fantastic... Was he a Mr. or a Doctor?
Mr. Fantastic, I think.
Yeah, but he was still a scientist, I believe. He... Wasn't it always that he would try to apply his knowledge of science to...
Yeah, they weren't a particularly fighting group, which is probably for the best.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is, like, it always felt kind of... I don't know, whenever I try and read anything, it was just like, go to another dimension, fight this otherworldly force, and it's just like... I think I just, like, lose track of what was going on. And it just didn't feel grounded in anything. It was just like, things. I don't know. Whereas, like, Iron Man is very much, like, usually... him against, like, some capitalistic force, you know.
Yeah,
business. Yeah. Half of it, he's not even flying around in the Iron Man suit, and if he is, it's usually just to show off. I kind of like that. I don't know, I liked the Iron Man comics. So Mr. Fantastic, Dr. Doom, and Mr. Fantastic's daughter were the three smartest people on Earth in the comics, ranking generally varied depending on the story.
Oh.
Huh. Yeah, I think I'd heard that. Franklin Richards was supposed to be like hella special and like some other stuff. I don't know. Oh, old Dojo.
Yeah, admittedly, the only Marvel comics that we ever had at home were the ones that my father's friend had given him that he had helped ink back in the day. Probably the, like, 70s or the 80s. So a lot of it was the X-Men, Iron Man, Thor, the Man-Thing, what other ones? The Star Wars, back when Star Wars was Marvel. Isn't it that funny, now that Disney has Star Wars, suddenly it's under the Marvel umbrella for comics again? Because for a long time it had been Dark Horse.
Yeah. I wonder if they have that on the online archives.
Well, what they're doing is they're reprinting a lot of the old graphic novels, but under the Marvel branding.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I just, like, I have no interest in reading a comic more than once.
I did. I have a lot of Star Wars graphic novels from the Clone Wars period. Not the Clone Wars art style. I did get most of mine by, it was John Ostrander, the writer, and Jan Duursema, the penciler. They created a really nice line of comics for that time period that they're the ones that primarily feature Quinlan Vos and Ayla Sakura. I always liked those.
I think my problem is, with the Star Wars canon, because I
don't even know what's real anymore.
Yeah, that's the problem. I have that problem with Marvel to some degree too, because they retcon so much.
Well, they have all the different. Do they refer to them as AUs, alternative universes now?
And I think recently I think they did like a back-to-back reboot, actually, of like Marvel, because there was like all new Marvel and then like all new Marvel, or
Disney Marvel, probably. They probably had to redo that.
No. This is like after Disney.
Well, there was the Ultimates. For a while, they were really pushing.
Yeah, well,
Ultimates.
they killed off the Ultimate Universe.
They did?
That's gone. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's gone. I will admit, don't quote me on that, because when I checked, it's like, yeah, the Ultimate Universe is over, because they schlooped. Oh, what's his face? Miles Morales into hello. Legwork. Movement speed while aiming, that's fine. Flash step,
Speaking of,
SP regen.
how did that Venom movie do? I heard mixed.
I heard mixed.
Mm-hmm.
I just found an amazing thing.
What did you find?
Leaf Bracer. So,
Leaf Bracer.
Leaf Bracer is a thing from Kingdom Hearts, actually. It makes it so I can now eat sandwiches while being hit. Which is absurdly good. Where the hell do I hit this thing? The deuce?
What are you trying to reach?
There's a switch over here.
There?
That one.
Oh, you can't just jump up?
Oh, you know what?
Oh, you can't jump up from there.
No, I can totally get to that. Again, visual perspective's not so easy in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So,
because of its
harder.
Isometric nature.
Yeah, so we want to do...
That's higher than you, isn't it?
We want to go here. There we go.
Okay.
And then across the Torii Gate.
Onto those. That's nice. Oh,
And then
now
shoot
you're
that.
high enough.
There we go.
Oh, but really? Okay. I think that's more of a, it allows you to jump over.
Yeah, though... Where? Why? I can already get over here. What was the point of that switch?
Up.
I have
Up,
no
up,
idea.
up. It wants you to be able to jump to the spot where you just push the button.
Okay.
Huh. Ultimatum. Joe Madureira is doing the art.
Oh, that's good. My problem is just like I tried subscribing to the Marvel Online archives back when Spider-Man like when I was playing the Spider-Man game, Warkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is this just the area of references?
Mm-hmm.
Warkeeper, blade made out of thick sheets of metal, used by blood-hungry warmongers. Okay,
Yeah, I really
it's
do
decent.
enjoy
Berserker.
his art for the Darksiders.
Joe
universe.
Madureira is an absolute gem of an artist. I love his work. But yeah, so I had subscribed to the Marvel Online Archives just to you know, get back into Marvel comics. I straight up couldn't even figure out how to, like, what order to read everything in, because they keep changing it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I really wish I could just pick, like, okay, which one of these is mainline Spider-Man? Got it. Okay, just read the comics.
Do you know what was interesting?
Hmm?
So, you know the friend that I told you about, my father's friend, Bob, who was an inker for Marvel?
Yeah.
So, you were just talking about, like, what order to read things in. They've been recently making compendiums of the old comics, but without color. And they have them printed on Shonen Jump paper.
Huh.
Do you know what I mean?
Ugh.
I know. Like, by Shonen Jump paper, I mean the sort of coarse pulp white paper that you... It's not newspaper. What would you describe it as? Manga paper?
I mean, it's newsprint. Well, no. Yeah.
No, it's not newsprint. It's not
Yeah,
smooth
yeah,
enough.
you're right. Yeah?
Yeah, so recently they've been doing that to introduce people to the old comics. Not with the old color, though. But... yeah, I wonder how all that factors in. If you think about it, after about 20 or 30 years, do they just reboot the characters so that they can modernize?
Often, yeah.
Because if you think about it, many of these comic book universes were established in the 60s.
Pulp paper. Pulp paper. Pulp
paper.
Paper. There we go.
Like Pulp Fiction? Huh.
Let's see, what should I do? So I could get up to that. I could buy one of these two. My defense stat. It's okay.
Yeah, think about that too. How the old comics used to have those minuscule dots in order to produce tone and color.
Yeah.
Now you have all of the, well, quite professional printing going on with full color graphic novels and such. Though they always smell. I don't like that.
I'm not a big fan of smell.
Have to let it air out for a while.
I've always been very much I don't know. I guess it's because I never smell anything to begin with. It bugs me when I can smell things. Because it doesn't smell good or right.
Mm-hmm.
And look at all these nodes I'm never even going to be able to afford.
Yeah.
Which one is this? That's the dash art. Probably not immediately that helpful. That's the guard art. Yeah, I should probably get this.
Well, of the 4 Batman movies that came out in the 80s and 90s, which one was your favorite?
Which is, you mean Batman movies?
Yeah.
I didn't like the Christian Bale ones.
I didn't like them.
I liked Joker. I liked Heath Ledger's Joker. I thought that was really, really well done.
I was so used to Joker being kind of, I don't want to say dapper, but
well,
kind of a...
So yeah, if we want to say that, Mark Hamill. Anything Mark Hamill's involved in.
Animated, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I thought when it came to live action,
6SB, ouchie.
it was much closer to Jack Nicholson than, say, Leto. That was weird.
Fun.
As campy as it was, I remember as a kid really enjoying the movie with... Oh. No, it's Instance. I don't want to go in by myself. Huh? Huh? Hi?
Prepare yourself. Show us what you have learned. Okay, so...
Maybe I'm just looking back fondly because it's part of my childhood, but I really liked the movie with... where they introduced Robin and they had Jim Carrey as the Riddler and Tommy Lee Jones as... I believe that's what his name is, as Two-Face. It was really campy and wacky. And colorful.
Okay. Ow.
I can't say though that I liked Val Kilmer as Batman though.
Do we have... I could care less about Val Kilmer as Batman.
No, he was rather bland. I think it was just the villain's performance that made it amusing.
Wow. Okay. Ow. Ow.
Ouch.
Well,
Yeah, because then they also had that one with Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze and Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy and what was it, George Clooney?
What?
Was Batman in that one?
Jolt, of course.
I thought that one also was really playing on the campy, wacky nature. Whereas I think the first two, especially with, wasn't it Tim Burton that helped, that was the director of the second one? Yeah, maybe he was the director of the second one. I always second guess myself with these, but
Is there a way to cancel... Oh, and I'm dead. Is there a way to cancel out of, an SP charge or an ability charge? Because they keep going into it, I'm like, no, this is not what I want to do, because it's not actually... I'm gonna just get smacked out of this. Okay. Yeah, I will admit, Shell, this is probably the worst time
I'm
for
not...
me to be answering
No, you don't need to
questions.
answer any more questions.
Yeah, part of the problem is, like, I'm realizing... Well, no, that worked out.
Oh, speaking of news, when it comes to, like, DC and such, I suppose it's a little bit off kilter because it's not quite DC news. It's more of just an actor from DC doing a project that you'd probably be familiar with. You heard about Cavill, the guy who...
Yeah, Henry Cavill is going to be...
he's going to be Geralt.
Geralt of Rivia.
In a television series for The Witcher. It's like, really? Huh. They're going to be getting Superman? The new Superman, I suppose.
I mean, he always struck me as the kind of guy that did more of whatever the heck he wanted as opposed to...
I think he's a good actor. I'd seen the, what was it, the Henry VIII television series, and he was playing Henry VIII's best friend.
Okay, that's
Wasn't a bad actor in that. And unfortunately, with Superman, they always play him in more recent media as... I mean, he really is so powerful. And with that one weakness to kryptonite and such, or something that makes him...
They just made him,
some
like, kind of
influence.
creepy?
Yeah. Villainous influence or something. I suppose I was used to the Christopher Reeves and the George Reeves older Supermans. At least that's what I grew up with. The George Reeves, though, that was the 40s, I believe.
I gotta get a better
40s or the 50s?
shock. Alright, whatever.
Maybe it was the 50s. No, definitely the 40s, now that I think about it. It was a different time.
Well done, Seeker.
Hi?
It seems nothing can phase you. Maybe you are indeed ready.
Hmm.
You have mastered every trial put in front of you. The golden beetles are proof of that.
Oh.
And you survived our little surprise. This was not your last trial. Oh no. In your last trial, you will face the guardian of this place. Speak to me if you wish to start this final test. Are you ready to face your final trial? Yes. Very well. Seeker, it's time for a duel.
Ah. He acquired all the beetles?
Beetle man.
He's a big bad Beetleborg.
Woo.
Big bad Beetleborgs. That show is so campy. I've been using campy often, but how else could you describe it? I tried watching it on Netflix recently because I suppose Netflix has a lot of Saban series on them. It's like, oh yeah, I had fond memories of this. I had a couple toys when I was little. Let's watch this. Oh my.
Or break now. Give me that HP back. Oops. Okay.
Oh, so he split.
I don't know what this is gonna do. Okay, didn't do what I wanted it to do. That's okay.
Ooh.
It's fine.
He's on fire.
I'm on fire. But that's okay.
Well, I meant the other kind of fire. Ooh.
There we go. I'm getting better at this whole blocking thing. Something that I've largely neglected to do this entire series. Okay. Now he's gotten tougher. Switch to ice. I guess I could do shock just to have the resilience against him.
Oh, he seems to be using shock now.
Yep. Okay. Hi, sandwich. Yeah, this might be a... Might not be so great on my end. Okay. Blast him with that. Have a chef sandwich. Okay, there we go. Beef bracer's probably going to save my butt through the rest of this.
Whoa.
Oops.
Oh no. So, is the center one the quote-unquote real?
It's
Samurai?
always the less shadowy one.
I see. So are you just supposed to avoid the other two and wait for an opportunity to hit? Oh, did he get stuck? He got stuck outside of the boss ring. Can you shoot him?
Yes, no.
Oh, what about the laser? It seemed to go through.
It's okay.
Oh, he's
He'll be
teleported
back.
himself back in. That's good. For a moment, I thought that you would have to reset because he, well, teleported out of the arena.
Yeah. Was a concern at first.
Oh, watch
Ow.
out. Eat
It's
food.
okay, we have so many of these. And I am functionally unbeatable as long as I have sandwiches.
Oh, he's up top, yeah.
My problem is I like try and dodge this one and it doesn't really work.
Have you been blocking?
Yeah, I've been blocking.
Oh. You need food again.
Yep. It's quick sandwich. Yeah, the problem is
And
that
he
one
does
is
the thunderbolt afterwards.
that one is actually unblockable. Old sandwich or chef sandwich. I don't know, whatever the best one
highest
is.
value. Yeah, it's that thunder shock afterwards.
Yeah, it's. I don't really know. Yeah, it's that thunder shock afterwards that I straight up like can't do much to. I mean, I've got a bunch of these dodge. Leah's dodges are very small.
And this guy's massive, and he has, well, he does a sword sweep. That pretty much makes a huge semicircle of death. He keeps getting swifter.
Yeah. I also do not necessarily have the best sense of when his downtime is. I'm getting there, but I'm just... I'm really trying to, like, learn perfect blocking.
Maybe you want to heal up again.
Yeah, it's probably a good time.
Watch out, he's gonna attack.
Nah, he's doing
Oh.
the 3 split. I guess, yeah, I guess when he's just... Once the 2 ghosts are gone.
That's a
That's
good
just
move to knock him down.
The best time for it, yeah. Yeah, okay. I got it. Kinda.
Thank goodness for healing.
Yeah. Thank goodness for Leaf Bracer. We would have died without it.
What does Leaf Bracer do?
Leaf Bracer is the ridiculous thing that lets me heal while being hit.
Oh. So that's how you've been able to actually
Yep.
get health back from your sandwiches without, even while he's...
Yeah, because
about to
normally
strike.
Jolt or like a bunch of other things would interrupt that, but I can just heal straight through it. There we go.
Well, he's now past that 1 mark. So what mode is he going into now?
Every
He
element.
switched to fire, thunder,
Oh,
fire.
fire and thunder, it looks like. Ow.
What? They're all slowly approaching you.
Yeah. Give me that sweet heals.
Oh. Now he's gonna do the strikes.
Yep.
You seem to be dodging better with wave.
Well, it's because I'm a little bit more
Oh.
Jesus. Comfortable with wave,
Better
but not really.
Heal up.
You could say I'm dodging better with wave. But I'm just trying more-ish. I guess one food item I could do is... Let's see, shock resistance. Prime pistachios.
Ooh. Shock resistance.
Considering they're my
That's-
weakest.
I haven't had
Give me
pistachios
my
in
health
ages.
back. We've got decent ones at Trader Joe's.
Mm-hmm. Then again, pistachios are always too salty for me, but maybe that's just because of the way they're roasted. I actually prefer nuts. I don't want to say raw, but I suppose raw cashews have a bit of a weird flavor to them. But maybe dry roasted or just roasted but not salted. Oh, almost got him. One more hit.
It's that last
Victory's
little bit there.
assured.
I don't know. He's
Yes.
tough. This game is hard. I'm probably just going to buy infinite sandwiches and just motor through the rest of it with
Ooh, what was the
sandwiches.
achievement?
Dawn Blade. Dawn's Blade?
Hmm.
That I would see the day a seeker would best me in combat.
Ah.
It was a good fight, one you can be proud of. You have earned the mark of mastery, and with it, the meteor shade. Now walk through the door behind me and speak to the ones that came before to receive your prize.
Speak to the ones that came before. What are you doing? Aren't you going to get the meteor shade?
Oh. Is it the other way? Oh, I
That
didn't
way.
even notice that door.